here you go, guys. Top 5 unique gravel bikes or gravel bike features. I've prepared for you something you might not seen before. At least one or two from this comparison will be completely new for most of the viewers here. So number 1, Lauf Cycling, or actually Lauf Cycling. This is the Icelandic brand. Kveðja strákar. I'm just sending some cheers to them because I also live in Iceland. Lauf means feather, and what they started with was this really amazing fork. This is the carbon fork with these glass fiber dumping materials. So this is the fork that's really good for Icelandic gravel grinding. I've seen these forks on the Blue Lagoon Challenge race, which I participated in 3 times. I'm gonna go for more, that's for sure. This is the fork that gives you about 30 millimeters of front suspension. There's no such thing as bottoming out. You've got some nice progression on this one. This glass fiber is super strong. This is very strong. They've been testing it, like hell, and it's difficult to break. So this is for sure high quality stuff. This is not just like unique, amazing to see and bad to ride thing. And also it doesn't look maybe very light, but this fork can weigh 900 grams, and in the SL version it will be 850 grams with this suspension part. So this is a very light fork. It is stiff, and this is made for gravel grinding. But since they already had the fork, they decided to have the bike also. And so we've got the True Grit. This is the gravel bike. There's nothing like unique going on the frame. I'm pretty sure they will change it in the future as well. But this bike as a full package with their Lauf fork is something amazing. Just a couple of facts about this bike. So this is the Lauf Grit SL fork, which is 850 grams of the weight. The geometry, all of the geometries for these bikes will be just optimized for long days in the saddle. This bike gives you 45 millimeters of space on the 700C tires even. So this is like mountain bike clearance. And of course you've got this little sweet thing on this bike. So guys, beautiful job. What I like too is the in and out cabling. So you put the cable right through the head tube and it will go in the right place at the back. So either the rear derailleur cable or the rear brake cable, it's all done so that you're not gonna be saying some bad words about this bike during the maintenance. And you can see for 2020 many gravel bikes manufacturers were focusing on doing easy maintenance for the internal cable routing. So this is number 1. Check this bike out. Also threaded bottom bracket. Check it out. Very cool design. Lauf, guys from Iceland. So this is the fork. You can also buy the fork itself. I've seen some guys using this fork on the mountain bike hardtails for the Blue Lagoon Challenge. This is all Iceland, so all these pictures are from Iceland. There's lots and lots of gravel roads there. Okay, number 2. This is the bike I would not buy, even though Niner makes really cool bikes. I do like their approach to cycling, but this is the MCR 9 RDO, the Magic Carpet Ride. Well, this is from 2019. Yeah, it's arriving 2019 November, so it's not available yet. But this is the bike I would not buy. Why? Because we are having full suspension bike with the very non-unique suspension, just the swing arm with the damper and the suspension fork at the front, and all this with this look of the bike is made just for 50 millimeters of the travel. You can see those guys pictured on some really rough trails where you would actually rather use a mountain bike than a gravel bike. So this is not like something in between mountain biking and gravel grinding. This is, in my opinion, something that won't be accepted by the larger audience or the buyers of those bikes. I understand they've been working on this suspension a lot. They've been fine-tuning it for gravel grinding, optimizing it for the vibration on the gravel roads rather than rough trails, even though this is not the gravel road here. But this is a very unique bike, that's for sure. There is not many brands that decide to have a full suspension bike, just a normal full suspension bike with 50 millimeters of travel front and rear and lockout remote on the handlebars. I don't like it. Tell me, guys, what do you think about it? In terms of the tire clearance, you've got up to 50C tires on the 700 wheels, or 2.0 for 650B. So this is like not really wide for a mountain bike 650B wheel, but it's a wide one for the gravel grinding. So this is the second unique one. I would not really buy this one. The third one is actually the bike I already did make an episode entitled "Why I Would Not Buy a Cannondale Slate." No one knows what's the bike made for really. It's made around the 650B wheels with the lefty Oliver suspension fork at the front, and it's got 30 millimeters of the travel. So putting out front the lefty Oliver carbon fork, which makes the bike heavier, which makes the bike much more expensive, and gives the bike only 30 millimeters of travel, this is pointless. So right after releasing this one, I think next year, they came with the Topstone. The first Topstone was the alloy one, but this is the bike that's is interesting, and I would really take a look at this one when considering buying a gravel bike. Why is it so? Because this suspension at the rear actually makes sense. The frame is stiff, the frame is solid, there is no damper here, not much additional parts, but just one pivot here, and this suspension gives you about 30 millimeters of travel. And it's based not only on the chain stays and the seat stays flexing, but also, or maybe even mainly, on the seat tube flexing, because this joint has been moved from this place, from the top tube seat stays joints down here, almost in the middle of the seat tube, which makes the seat tube really flex. You can see that on their videos. Of course, through axles, and here we've got some nice tire clearance up to each bike is different in this comparison. You can put 40 millimeters on the 700C wheels, or 48 on 650B. Of course, lots of storage options for you, or bottle cages mounts, fender removable bridge right here, and also they say they've got the easy internal cable routing. They call it direct line cable routing. So you should be able to exchange the cables or the housings without any hassle. And also the dropper, the inner internal dropper seat post compatible. The suspension is called Kingpin suspension, 30 millimeters. So all these gravel bikes will try to give you about 30 millimeters of the suspension. This is also a nice design of the through axles. They call it, should be somewhere here, speed release through axle. It's a hybrid of the typical quick release and the through axle. So through axle on one side and a normal release, speed release, or quick release on the other side. It works. It is stiffer than the quick release, so that's cool. Topstone Carbon Ultegra. Only the carbon version has this option. So check it out. This really makes sense. The bike is still light, stiff, doesn't add too many parts to it. And I just wanted to show you, there was really nice little video showing how the seat tube is flexing, but you will find it on the Cannondale website somewhere. And the innovation, there's no video here. Anyway, this seat tube is the one. This is the other one. The seat tube is the one that flexes nicely on this bike. And the last one, the fifth one, Diverge, Specialized Diverge. We had 30 millimeters of travel on the rear wheel of the Cannondale Topstone Carbon, and we have 30 millimeters of travel at the front on the Specialized Diverge. And this is, I'm not sure I would go for this one, but here you have it. This is also the unusual feature. The shock is located in the head tube, but it does not make the front wheel move against the frame. But this whole, like the frame set and the wheels, is just one whole part, and it's only the handlebars that have that 30 millimeters of travel. It's called Future Shock. It has the spring here inside, so it will not make like damp the vibration for your frame, but only for your hands or for your arms, for your upper body. So this is also making like a half of the job, half of the work. Doesn't make that much sense to me, because this does make the bike more complicated and heavier, and it actually takes the vibration from the parts of our body which flex a lot, because in your elbows, in your arms, you've got a lot of travel here. So I'm not sure about this one. It's just to let you know there is such a thing. It's called Future Shock. It gives you 30 millimeters of travel, and this bike comes with 700 by 42 millimeters tires. And you can also opt for 650B 47 millimeters of tires. So really wide tires for these bikes. I personally would go for something like Cannondale Topstone Carbon, not the alloy, but the carbon, or the Life True Grit, because of this amazing fork. It does look badass, but also the fork really works. It makes sense. It is durable. And it is very light. So this is the top 5 unique bikes for 2020 on the Gravel Awards. Let me know if I missed something super interesting in the comments, and what would you like to see next. Bye.